Okay, so I want to go through the mean value theorem, which has to do with whether a function that's defined on a closed interval, in this case it's from 3 to 4, experiences an average rate of change between those two things. Basically thinking about what the y value is at 3, whatever that is, moving to the y value at 4, whatever that is, and whatever that average slope is between those 2 points. If our curve meets certain conditions, what it says is that the instantaneous slope must be that equal to that number somewhere between 3 and 4, somewhere between the two endpoints on this. So there's a little work we need to do to set this problem up. So the first thing we need to do is figure out where these points are, at least figure out what the y values are. So let's go find f of 3, which would be 3 minus 1 over 3, which is like 9/3 minus 1/3, which is 8/3. So we have a point at 3 comma 8/3, which would be about 2 2/3. So let's go put a point here somewhere around there, and we can say that that's the point 3 comma 8/3. Now let's go find f of 4. So f of 4 is going to be 4 minus 1/4, which is 16/4 minus 1/4, which is 15/4, which is 3 3/4. So we could go put that point on our curve and say that that's going to be just under a y value of 4. So we can go put a dot over here, and we'll say that that's the point 4 comma 15/4. So we don't know exactly what this curve looks like between those 2 points, but the first thing we need to do as far as mean value theorem goes is confirm that the function is continuous between 3 and 4 for this particular function, which is x minus 1 over x. So the only place this function is going to be discontinuous is at 0, x equals 0, because you'd be dividing by 0 there. And since 0 isn't in our interval, we're continuous. The other thing we need to have is for this function to be differentiable along this interval. So to find out if it's differentiable, all we do is take the derivative and then see if it's undefined anywhere between 3 and 4. So let's write the function over here. We've got f of x is, maybe we could call this x minus x to the negative first. Take the derivative, which would be 1 plus x to the negative 2, or 1 plus 1 over x squared. Or if we felt like showing off and writing that as one simplified fraction, we could write it like that. These are equivalent versions of that. However, you can certainly see the only place this would be undefined would be at x equals 0. So it's the only place this function is not going to have a slope is at x equals 0. But that's not a problem for us because our interval is only from 3 to 4. So as long as we keep our numbers between 3 and 4, this thing is going to have a nice smooth curve to it. So we don't know what it looks like, if it's going to be kind of going like that or going down like this. For all we know, it could be up and down a whole bunch of times between there and there. I kind of have a feeling it's sort of going to be going kind of like this sort of look, like a slight curve like that. This thing's going to be a little less, yeah, it's going to pretty much form like a line y equals x eventually. Anyway, you don't really need to know that. But what we do need to realize is whatever average slope is achieved between this point and this point. So in other words, if we were just going to think about the secant line right there and what the slope of that secant line is, what we're saying is somewhere between those 2 points, the curve is going to have that same exact slope. So the slope of the tangent line is going to be equal to the slope of that secant line somewhere between 3 and 4. So why don't we first find out what the slope of that red dotted line is. So I'm going to use red, and I'm going to say, all right, we've got basically, to find that slope, we just use our 7th grade slope for formula y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. In this particular case, we're talking about 15/4 minus 8/3 over x2 minus x1, which is 4 minus 3, which of course is just 1. So 15/4 minus 8/3, let's get a common denom of 12 there. So we're going to times this by 3, times this by 4. And so we're going to get 45 minus 32 over 12 all over 1, which is, what, 13 over 12. So that's the average slope average rate of change between those 2 points. And what mean value theorem says is somewhere between 3 and 4, somewhere between here and here, the curve must achieve a slope of 13/12 somewhere along the way. So what we're going to do is take our derivative, which gives us the slope anywhere, and we're going to set it equal to 13/12. And we'll see if we can solve for that. So let's do that. Let's take the math here, and we're going to take our formula for our slope, which I'm going to use this x squared plus 1 over x squared, and set that equal to 13/12, and see if we can do some algebra here. So we have a kind of a proportion here, so we can cross multiply and get 12 times the quantity x squared plus 1 is equal to 13 times x squared. Distribute the 12, and we get 13x squared. If we subtract 12x squared from both sides, we get 1x squared over here, and we get 12 here. Taking square roots of both sides, we can do a plus or minus. We get x equals plus or minus root 12, which is plus or minus 2 root 3. Now, that says that there are 2 places that this derivative is equal to 13/12. It's equal to it at 2 root 3 and negative 2 root 3. However, the value of c guaranteed by the theorem is simply the one that's between 3 and 4. And so, of course, the negative 2 root 3 is not going to be between 3 and 4, but I can bet you that positive 2 root 3 is a value that's between 3 and 4. So that's the place where the slope of the curve is equal to the average rate of change of the curve over the time from 3 to 4. And that's a very typical mean value theorem there. So there you go on that. And again, just to be clear, what we're talking about is that value of c has to exist somewhere between 3 and 4. I'm going to say that 2 root 3 is going to be somewhere around there, and that's the place where our curve is going to achieve that average rate of change that was achieved by the curve over that interval.